Okay, let's have a look at question 1 then. I have underlined 10 things here, but if I was sitting the exam, I would think about some of those 10 things might just get 1 mark. It might be that 2 of those things are really about just 1 thing. If I've got time, I'd make a list of all 10, and I know the examiner would keep going until I got my maximum 5 marks. That's what happened when I sat the exam in November 2018. I think I listed 10 in the end and got the full marks. Okay, so let's have a look, and you can check that you've underlined correctly as you've gone along. So you've started with a bright cold day in April. That's not about Victory Mansions, that's about the weather and the time of year. The clocks were striking 13. We're not told that the clocks are part of Victory Mansions, so we haven't got any details about Victory Mansions yet. Winston Smith, his chin nuzzled into his breast in an effort to escape the vile wind, slipped quickly through the glass doors of Victory Mansions. So Victory Mansions gets its first mention, and we're given a detail that it has glass doors. So I've underlined glass doors. I hope you have too. So he slips through the glass doors of Victory Mansions, though not quickly enough to prevent a swirl of gritty dust entering along with him. The hallway smelt of boiled cabbage. So that sounds to me like a detail about Victory Mansions, the fact that the hallway of it smells like boiled cabbage. So I might decide to put that it smelt. I might decide to put a detail in, it smelt of boiled cabbage. And then I also underlined and old rag mats. Do old rag mats smell the same as boiled cabbage? I don't know. So I might decide that I'm going to go for 2 pieces of information there. It smelt of boiled cabbage, and on a new line it also smelt of old rag mats. Or I might just say it smelt. So if I'm going for the 2, then I definitely want to overwrite, just in case the exam board have decided that that's just 1 detail, because it smelt. Okay, so hopefully you're ticking along and underlining as you go. At one end of it, a coloured poster, it was too large for indoor display, had been tacked to the wall. So it has a poster on the wall. So I've underlined that. There's a coloured poster. It depicted simply an enormous face. So these are details about the poster, and I am going to write that it has a poster. I'm not going to put any more details in about the poster, because the poster details are not the details of Victory Mansions. Okay, so it depicted simply an enormous face, more than a metre wide. The face of a man of about 45, with a heavy black moustache and ruggedly handsome features. Winston made for the stairs. So there are stairs in Victory Mansions. I underlined that there's stairs. It was no use trying for the lift. Oh, it has a lift. Great, there's another detail. So I've underlined the lift. Even at the best of times, it was seldom working. So we've got a second detail there about the lift. So we need to be careful. We could put that it has a lift, and we could put on a second line, the lift was seldom working. But I think the best thing to do is to squash those 2 details onto 1 line. The lift didn't work, or the lift seldom worked is the best thing to put, isn't it? And at present, the electrical current was cut off during daylight hours. So it sounds like the electricity in Victory Mansions isn't on all the time. Another nice detail about it. I hope you've underlined it. It was part of the economy drive in preparation for Hate Week. If I don't know the book, I don't know what Hate Week is. Does it matter for Victory Mansions? No. So I just move on. The flat was 7 flights up. Now, you have to be careful here, because lots of students will write Victory Mansions had 7 stories or 7 flights of stairs, which isn't a fact. The only fact we can know is that there are at least 7 flights of stairs. Okay, because there might be floors above Winston's, and we don't know that. So if we're using that, we have to put either that Winston lived on the 7th floor of Victory Mansions, which is a fact about Victory Mansions, or that Victory Mansions had at least 7 floors. Okay, but we've got loads and loads there to write. We're doing well. And Winston, who was 39 and had a varicose ulcer above his right ankle, went slowly, resting several times on the way. So those are details about Winston, not Victory Mansions. On each landing, so each landing at the top of the stairs where the floor widens out, this is about Victory Mansions, isn't it? Opposite the lift shaft, the poster with the enormous vase gazed from the wall. So there's another fact about Victory Mansions, that on every floor it has that same poster. It was one of those pictures which are so contrived that the eyes follow you about when you move. That's the detail about the poster, not Victory Mansions. I didn't underline it. I hope you didn't too. Big Brother is watching you. The caption beneath it ran. And then I will find that I've ruled across the page, or I've put my little bracket so I know I'm not going any further. So there's plenty there to go with. So just a little reminder, because in a moment you're going to try and make it 2 minutes. You're going to write up your 7 ideas. If you're a super fast writer, then you might try for 10, okay, which is perfectly possible if you're super fast. But if you're not, go for 7, stop, move on. Really important, okay? One tip though about how you write this up. One piece of information on one line, then move down. If you can, number so that you know you've got to 7, okay? The other thing is make sure that your answer makes sense. Answer the question. So you were asked to list 5 things we learn about Victory Mansions in this part of the text. So please make sure you could start 5 things we learn about Victory Mansions are, and then you could put a colon, and then you could list underneath. But make sure that if you are quoting, the quotation itself answers the question. If it doesn't, you'll have to put some of your own words in. So it might sound a little bit like the things we learn about Victory Mansions are: number 1, it has glass doors. Number 2, its hallway smells of boiled cabbage. Number 3, the hallway also smells of old rag mats. Number 4, it has a coloured poster in the hallway. Number 5, it has stairs. Number 6, it has a lift, but the lift seldom works. Or if you want to divide them up, it has a lift, and next one, the lift seldom works. So that takes me to 5, 6 or 7, can't remember which. The electric isn't always on in the building in daylight hours. There's at least 7 flights of stairs. Each landing in Victory Mansions has the poster of the enormous face. Full stop, bish bash bosh, you're done with question 1. Okay, so go and time yourself, see if you can get it in 2 minutes, written down, and then you are done for today's work if you're dividing up over the week. Okay, if not, you can keep going on the video. All right, I'll see you on the other side in 2 minutes. Good luck, guys.